Kim said, "Go ahead and fire it up. I'm here." She's over there here. She's putting gas in her machine. It's about ready to get pulled out of here. So we got the door wide open and the bugs coming in, but we had it running, so we had exhaust, so we're kind of clearing the exhaust. But then she's going to drive it out, and I'll swing the camera on to show that. Hello, everybody. Tom Anderson, Patrick Sullivan, Raw Dog, Buddy Carfano, all at 10 p.m. All on the hour, on time. Pretty good.
Thanks, everybody. Happy Saturday night. I am here.
Here, let me turn this. Mark Sauvé also here at 10. Man, he must have squeaked in right at the end. I'm going to try to turn this thing, which I usually don't turn. Oh, well, you can only turn it so far before it's blocked by a screen, but there we can kind of see you.
Okay,
you can't see me anymore, but we can see you. I don't know, maybe you want to set up your other camera. I don't know, maybe I'll
I do. I want to set up my other camera so they can see a little bit. Do you have a roll of paper towels handy?
I
yes,
do.
You do. Okay, I'm going to say hello, everybody. Hi, everybody. Happy Saturday night.
Mark Sauvé has been here for over 2 hours. Yeah, when I left the house, I looked over there and I saw you were already in there. There's quite a crowd already in here before I walked up here. I've been up here like 45 minutes, something like that. So.
Yeah, we wanted to get this machine together, or at least give it a try. And we had one little glitch. The pump was hooked up backwards, so the left-hand pump was righty-tighty, loosey-loosey, or something like that.
Yeah, well, it would go the wrong way. It's like when you turn the steering wheel this way, the car goes this way.
Yeah, it was a little bit weird at first, but you just have to switch around some lines. And
switch a couple hydraulic lines, and it should be right.
It should be ready to go again. I got gas in it. I got washing up my hands.
And my car was blocking the road out here, so I got my car and warmed it up and backed it out there and spent a few minutes in it while it was warming up. And Kim said, "You took a long time moving the car." See, I was just enjoying my car.
Classic Car Revival's popping in to say hi. Says make sure everybody hits the thumbs up button. Thumbs up button, please. Thank you. We'll wait. Welcome to everyone who is not able to chat. I know John Hart. I was talking to him earlier. He dropped off his chainsaw. So I'm going to tinker with that. Maybe tonight, maybe not. Probably not. Another day. But
John Hart is in here.
He's probably watching, but yeah.
He's in here a lot, but he's watching on TV. So to chat, he's got to get on a phone or something.
More and more people are using their like Roku and smart TVs and smart devices and tablets and things like that to watch. But they don't get chat. They're missing out. Guys, get the chat. It's so much more fun if you're able to enjoy the live stream with the group. But if not, and if you're here after the live, welcome in just as much. If you are here after, if you were not here for the live and you're watching now to see what we're up to, I am awarding you 3 points. I never do that, but you deserve it. Thanks for being here as well. And everyone who was here at 10 p.m. or 10:01 or 10:02 was indecisive. Down to, honestly, till right now. If you have made a comment in chat since the beginning of stream, the official start time of 10 o'clock, I'm awarding you 3 points. Good job. Thanks, everybody who came in and pre-gamed. It's fun to see that people are, planning to be here and excited about the stream. I'm going to hook up camera 2 so we can aim it that way so you can see the machine, and it's going to be pretty good because we're going to be able to start it up and spin it around and take her out of here. It's going to take us probably all night just to get cleaned up for the next project. I don't know. He wants to work on the Jeep. We'll see how it goes.
And I see a couple of comments I want to respond to.
Okay, I'll let you do that while I get something started up.
Kim, this involves you.
Okay.
If you ever take hydraulic lines off, mark them with colored zip ties. Sometimes that trick helps. Well, here's the deal. She took the pump off. The whole pump was put together backwards and upside down and everything. So she made it the way it's supposed to be, and then she reclocked it. So and of course the lines are where the lines are not the right length, not where they used to go, and she got 2 of them backwards.
Well, that's actually I didn't put them in the They went back on opposite of where they came off of because the pump now runs backwards basically because I fixed it. So, yeah, the zip tie trick would have fooled me because I didn't know that I switched it, and I figured, well, I'll just try it because it's not that hard to flip around.
Yeah, if you're taking something apart, put together the way it was, yeah, that works.
It was never right in the first place.
Yeah, this one, it had the wrong, there's like a right and a left pump, and it was like two right-hand pumps or two left-hand pumps or something. It was something goofed up.
Hey, I made it work. That's
and then what else did I see here? Buddy Carapano says, what? Oh, see, I even looked tonight because I knew somebody would ask. Buddy Carapano says, what letter socks are you wearing?
Buddy Carapano.
I looked. You know what a knot sign is? A knot sign. It looks like an L leaned over on its side, only backwards. It looks like a backwards L on its side. It's called a knot sign. And to find that, you have to go in the what do they call that thing in Windows? The that shows all the fonts. There's a name for that thing. Somebody will come up with it.
I don't know.
So anyway, you go in there. There's a thing called a knot sign, and I was running out of letters, so I put a knot sign on one pair.
That is in reference to the fact that Buffalo Campo numbers his socks just because.
Let's see here. Have no fear. Dougster is here.
Welcome in, Dougster. Check out Dougster's Wolverine Garage channel.
Mark Sauvé got it. Character map. He needs a couple points for that. If you look on the character map, you'll find the knot sign. And I never knew what it was. So I used it.
No Name Nationals. It's coming up.
Oh, yeah, real soon.
Make sure your car is ready.
Less than a month.
Less than a month away. If you don't know about No Name Nationals, check out John Wilburn's channel. And, good stuff. We're going to be there. It should be a really good time.
Stray Bullets here. Gearhead says paint pens. Hippie Long says use white electrical tape and Sharpies.
Oh, there you go. You know what? Now that it's working, next time I take it apart, which hopefully is never, I will label them some way maybe.
Or just, we video everything. You can see how it is. Just go look at the video.
That thing is so greasy.
Raw dog, come on.
What's he doing? Raw dog, no! No! Bad dog. All right.
Oh, what's around my neck? I have keys to my car, keys to this is the Blue Angel one is keys to my car. The Maryland flag is the keys to the car that came from Maryland, which is the Jeep. And I knew I had to move vehicles around, so I just grabbed my keys.
The bugs are finding their way in. I better keep moving here. Let's see.
What are you doing? Oh, you're checking cameras.
Yeah, I need to find the kitty cam.
I'll probably go dark here for a second while she's playing around with it.
Where's the camera that I need?
I don't know. It's the dual cam. You just keep flying by it.
There it is. I know, I'm not trying to. Oh, there, it's on.
It's on.
There we go.
Okay, so there we go.
All right.
So.
Okay, so the camera's on.
It's focused terrible, but yeah, it'll work.
Oh, that's right. Focus is the thing.
That's wrong way. That sharpened it up. That's too far. Yeah, that looks pretty good.
All right.
Yeah, lanyards. That's what it is. Lanyards. Colby Queso's here. Good evening. Oh, we've got more.
We got to do it on all the things. All the medias have to be working.
Okay, so I need to be up here videoing.
Okay, we couldn't get it done before the live started, so here's some live.
Make sure that's a breakaway lanyard so you don't get sucked head first into a car fan. Like the next time. Yeah, I wouldn't work on the car with it. I'm just sitting here. I had to drive. I got to drive a couple of vehicles, so I just wanted to make sure I brought my keys with me.
Valves are on.
If you're worried about it, I'll throw them on the disc.
Okay, you guys are going to get muffled. You're not going to hear the sound.
Okay, you won't hear this because it's so loud it'll blank out the microphone, but Well, she drove off into the darkness. What is this? Okay, let's see. I'm trying to find the chat where it was. Yeah, Raw Dog, you're. I don't know what you're thinking about tonight. Let's see here. Gearhead never operated a case skid steer. Operated Mustangs and Bobcats, even in the newer Bobcats. I wish they would put the steer handles back further. We had these ones were so loose and floppy, and they were so worn out. We welded them and redrilled them. Jeez, I can't talk over the noise. So we welded them and drilled them and like thin fit them so they're really nice. They don't rattle all over anymore. So it's a lot better. E-Fog's here. Good evening. Oh, Hippie Long said now case is fixed. You can crunch up the pool. Yeah.
That's right.
You know what we didn't do, Kim? I saw you driving off, and I was hoping you wouldn't get on it too hard because the hitch isn't on it. Right now you can wheelie over backwards. So
yeah,
we've got to fix that. Faith in repentance. Thanks for being here. E-Fog's here. Space Cat. Crap show. LOL. I get it. What? I was hoping that Kim would do a wheelie. Oh, not without we need to have that trailer hitch on there. And I don't know what we did with it. We pulled it off because when we pulled the engine out, we had to keep getting the engine past the trailer hitch. And one night I said, let's get that hitch out of the way. Because it's right where we were working, you know. And then we forgot to put it back on.
Yeah.
So we got to put it on so she doesn't wheelie over backwards.
No, you overstated. It almost happened one time when I was trying to get it up onto a trail.
Oh, well, you just about went over backwards that day.
Yeah.
But then I've seen you a couple other times, and especially if you're going uphill, it tends to go, you know, the nose tends to come off the ground. So, yeah, it'd be better if we fixed it.
Yep.
Should I put the camera on you?
No, please.
Oh, it quit anyway. Okay, so E-Fog says Mexican Spec. Mexican Spec might be here. He was here earlier before we started, but he had problems with a vehicle and he fixed it. And now he went to the store or something. So I don't know. He's spread pretty thin trying to get everything done.
He's in different time zones. It's probably still.
Well, yeah, and he's in a different time zone than us. So it's earlier there. Dougster, I'm about asleep on the couch. I'm turning in. Good night. All have a good time. Dougster's out. Okay, Dougster, thanks for being here.
Excellent. Thanks for
See,
stopping
Straight Bullet says something there. Oh, thumbs up, yeah. Raw Dog, what kind of part for toy would you want? What kind of part for toy would you want? What off-road vehicle would you want to race in an off-road series? I don't know. I've never done anything like that.
We've got the Bronco too.
Oh, she's got a Bronco too, but I don't know if that's the appropriate thing, but maybe.
I don't know what kind of off-road series.
You know what I just saw on, I was looking on Marketplace, Kim, and there was a really ravaged looking Mustang 2.
Mustang 2?
I think it was a Mustang 2. But it was a running car, and it wasn't real expensive. It had a 2.8 liter V6 in it.
Oh, yeah? Oh, it had 2.8?
Yeah.
I didn't know they used very many Mustangs very much.
Yeah, they used the Mustangs and the Pintos. So, Mustang 2s, not later ones. So it's an older car, but it was like $1,200 or something. I thought, man, there's your engine. But now you got another engine, but you already got a 2.9 in it.
Wish I would have seen it when I was there.
Yeah, that's how it is. That kind of stuff comes up after it's wrong, after it's done. One-Eyed Cat, good evening. How are you doing? You got an engine and a transmission in your car.
Hey,
Stray Bullet says a lot of Neva. You know what a lot of Neva is? It's a little, like a tiny little SUV Russian thing.
Oh, okay.
And a very well-liked car, by the way. A lot of people like them.
Okay. Got a lot to do.
Okay, I gotta move that. That's like, she put this thing right where I can't see them. cat. Let's see, Neva, the only way to go off-road. A lot of people like those things. A lot of people like those. Rodog says I would take 900 horsepower Pro 4. Okay. It's anything with 900 horsepower sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Not yet. A lot of cleaning and painting going on, though. That's one I'd get with his 440 and his car he's got to put on over the 440. Mark Sauvé, I worked at a Jeep Eagle dealership that also sold Ladas. Really? We didn't get many Ladas in the States. We got them a few, but I know you had a lot more of them in Canada. And of course, when I was in Russia, I rode in those things, but I never drove one. Stray Bullet, my Lada will run circles around your Pro 4. Do you have a Lada? Stray Bullet, do you have a Lada? The little Lada sedans, those little four-door Ladas, I mean, you get in it and you just feel like you're in a Fiat, except it sets a little higher. And, you know, if you know cars, you start to notice little differences. But, you know, and when you take the engine apart, it's like sort of Fiat-ish, but the head's all Russian. They redesigned that.
I wonder why.
I don't know. And then they had things like heated door handles and heated seats and things that were, you know, because 60 degrees north latitude is about as south as you can get. Stray Bullet says, I wish. I always wanted a Russian car, but now somebody probably throw rocks at you.
It's almost as bad as having a Tesla.
Mark Sauvé says, I thought they were like a Datsun 510. They're like a Fiat 124. My cat, I've got motor coder being open tomorrow. Wendy says we're coming in hot this year. What about the rear end? You got any concerns about the rear end? I shouldn't ask. If that rear end survives, I'm putting one of those little tiny 7-inch Chrysler rear ends and everything. I've got one in my Valiant.
I don't know how they make it survive. Those axles are not.
Well, he's got 440 with a really good trans and big tires and sticky track and everything. It's like, man, maybe it'll just be fine. Well, the car's not so heavy.
It shouldn't be able to do it. It's just too much power.
I gotta get all the way. Kim's trying to.
These are really only good for about 250 horsepower or something like that.
I don't think the Ladas are fast. I think they're just capable cars. One I catch says rear end will be baby. We're coming back in a bag. Oh man. That's how drag racing is. I'm learning. I'm there. People break. Something breaks.
The faster you go, the more expensive you break.
Well, you know who I want to see do well this year is Dylan Levi. Yeah, because 3 years in a row he broke.
He pushes
The first year he broke his transmission before we even went to Lambert. And second and third year he broke. And this year I hope he does well. That's a fast car, you know, it should be. So Stray Bullet says you've never seen a rally prep Lada. Yeah, probably not.
Is it really a Lada by the time they do the rally prep? Or is it just a Lada body?
One I guess says I drag race once a year. Coming soon. Raw Dog, but you should buy a Ford Ranger or like a Mazda truck or a Honda truck, do a truck build. We have a Ford. We have a Ranger, but it was bought as a parts vehicle.
We got a Bronco 2 with 410 axles.
Kim's got a Bronco 2, like she says, with the 410 axles. And now it has a 2.9 V6 in it. Had a 2.8, but now it's got a 2.9.
It's got a V6. It'll make plenty of power to do normal things. We don't do.
What I'm afraid about, those things are kind of narrow, and it'd be easy to flip one over if you get too crazy with it.
Well, yeah, you have to be aware of what
You have
kind
to be
of
thinking, that's right.
You have to know your limits. You're driving it like it's a race car because it's a different thing.
Mark Silva had a body shop called looking for a taillight panel for a Lada Niva. It wasn't in the catalog. Had to call Lada Canada for part number. All he said is, I'll send you one. He sent a used panel. Or you should do a little four-banger build. Well, she's already got the... See, it had a V6 in it that was bad. Had crack in the block or something. So she was looking for another 2.8, and it was like impossible to find. And she found a 2.9. In fact, that's what came out of that Ranger, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so the Ranger parts truck we got is a donor for the 2.9 in the Bronco. It's a donor for the rear end that is now in Dodge Dart. It'll be a donor for the floor, the bed floor for the Ute, little Valiant Ute I want to build.
Oh yeah, there's
no part left untouched yet.
No, nothing left to wait.
And then it came with isn't that the one that came with a whole bed full of mellow yellow cans? The guy had like 5,000 mellow yellow cans in there, and all of them had bees in them.
Yeah, they did.
Bees living in the old mellow yellow. So we threw most of them away, but I saved one of the cans, and then I used that name for the Valiant. I'm calling that car Mellow Yellow. So that's the name of the Valiant, Mellow Yellow. Yeah, it's already yellow, but it'll be maybe a little different yellow. I don't know. Stray Bullet says that's probably what they do in Russia. And I don't know if they do anything in Russia right now. They're, I don't know. Who knows? Russians I know, I can't even talk to them. They're such a, just can't even talk to them anymore. How much did we cash the cans in for? Okay, here's what we do.
$1 million.
Over here at our convenience center, they have a place you can put aluminum. We just gave it to them.
We donated them to charity.
So what happens is this is where we take our garbage, our trash, our plastic, our aluminum, glass, cardboard, everything. You just separate it all. And they charge us $5 a month to have access to that. I can't complain about that. Because everywhere else I've lived, like when I was in Ohio, to get rid of the garbage, it was $65 a month. And you got one can and they pick it up once a week. It's like, man, that can was always overflowing. You couldn't let it overflow or they wouldn't pick it up, you know? It's $65 a month. I came down here and it's $5 a month to get rid of everything. So I just went off the edge.
Oh, why are you showing in the corner of the shop while I'm working? Well, now you have to point it.
Yeah, but when I go this way, it's like one step forward, two steps back because the ground chairs on wheels and it rolls that way.
Build perfect flat for you.
Doug says you should buy a 12-valve, I think he means valve, Cummins motor and slap it in your Ford Bronco or Ranger. Well, you had to extend the nose about 3 feet. You know how short that engine compartment is? You know what we should do is start looking for some little jet engine, like a auxiliary power unit. Because I used to rebuild those.
I don't think
Go out there and start it up, you know.
I don't think we should.
Oh, it'd sound cool. It'd sound cool. I don't know how well it'd work. Sound cool. Gearhead, what's everyone else think about the new Vision EV Corvette? I don't know. I don't know. I've driven some of these fast. Uh, is it totally EV or is it a hybrid? Like my son's Toyota pickup is a hybrid. My God, that thing's fast. When you get on it and the engine, it's like double turbocharged engine, whatever it is, and the motor come alive. Oh my God, does that thing take off? But yeah, I need some wheel chuck for my chair. Turbo Buick engine. And I thought about that. That's what I always thought would be good in one of my little Pinto vans is a 3.8 Buick. Stray Bullet says a jet engine would be fun. Raw Dog, you should put a turbojet engine on the pit bike or mini bike. You know what I'd do is those auxiliary power units that they put in the back of airplanes or they put them in the start carts that you roll around. They got an airline about this big around that comes off the engine. It supplies just a steady 150 psi. It's like the most ultimate compressor you'd ever want. And then on the engine, they have an air motor that spins the engine that starts it up. So what you do is you bleed air off the engine and you put that air motor, hook it to the rear end somehow or to the wheels, And then when you want to go, you just open up the air valve. Jeez. Man, would that take off. But it would sure sound cool running. Pull out on the track at No Name Nationals and have a jet engine sound. They probably wouldn't let me on the track.
John Wilburn would tell you to take that thing straight home.
Get it off the track. We takes it over to Zeke to get it, get the, what do you call it?
I think if you were going to do something like that, take the land.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be that fast. Stray Bullet, have any of you guys seen that crazy rocket man? Is he the guy that runs around in the desert with the Hulk jet? If that's the guy, yeah, I've watched him a lot. Use compressed air like a supercharger. That's kind of what a jet engine is, a self-powered supercharger. Oh yeah, that would work, I guess.
Would work?
Build a pulse jet engine. Hey, I had a friend and he built a lot of pulse jet engines, and they were just like that Rocket Man, except he just had them on stands and he'd run them at the airport. They made him go way out the edge of the airport because of the noise. Kim's got the scraper going. Why don't you turn on your other camera? Is it?
I put it away.
It's no longer working. Okay.
I put it away.
Wrote Cletus McFarland just had a video with a jet engine and a jet engine owner where the guy put a jet engine in a minivan. Well, Cletus, I really didn't know what an aviation guy he was, and I saw him come in and land in a jet-powered helicopter and got out of it. I thought, wow, he's the only one in it. And it's like, and they'd had an accident at his airport. And he goes, I never wanted to hear this, but if you have an airport, somebody's going to have an accident one day. I think everybody walked away from it, but the airplane was hurt. Here had the GT Vision, the hybrid supercar with 2,000 horsepower. So the reason I don't really like those things is they're just so complex. I guess if I bought a hybrid, I'd probably buy a Toyota just because they've been doing it for 25 years and they know what they're doing. The stuff works, but Mark Sauvé, there's a drag racing team running compressed air instead of a supercharger or turbos. Somebody new here, Bad Monkey No Banana. Good evening. Cleves is a fairly newly minted pilot. I was surprised he was flying that. It was a Hughes 500 or an MD5 something. one of those ones that looks like a big egg, and he just flies it like a pro. I mean, and then when the accident happened, they had the accident, the airplane that was in the accident, it was caught on video on one of their cameras around there, and he looked at it, and I could tell by what he was saying, he really understands aviation, and he understands airflow and how wings work and everything. I'm just what he said was like right on. You know, it's like, oh, okay, this guy knows what he's talking about. It really surprised me. What is this? Mark Sabe. Nope, that minivan is on the Boosted Boys channel. Indecisive Garage. That minivan runs a 12-second quarter mile. Straight bullet. If you had enough money, you could go through training pretty fast. Yeah, but you know, money doesn't buy smarts. And there's people that go through training fast, and they don't have enough hours, and they get in airplanes that get ahead of them, and you know, a lot of them have accidents. It's Boosted Boys. Cletus makes some cool videos along with C-Boys TV. Oh, Cletus is from an aviation family. I didn't know that. And that makes a difference, too. There's a couple of friends I had that were flying airplanes when they were little kids because their father was flying. And, man, one of them's a test pilot where I used to work. He came in at a time when they didn't need a pilot, and he wanted to be a pilot, so he worked in logistics. And then they got to the point where they had an opening for a pilot. He went there, man, he just fit in like, he's training Navy pilots and flying and test pilots, everything. I know Mythbusters tried that with a car and blew it up. I'm not sure what that is. Yeah. I don't know. The little APUs would be kind of nice because you bleed air off of them using air starter, but that's a bunch of money. You gotta find used stuff, and probably hard to find. I remember Cletus trying to land that 172 before he got his license. Yeah, I don't know about that. Oh, I got hiccups. I don't know why I have the hiccups. Drinking my flavored water.
Boy, did that machine make a mess.
The machine made the mess?
This machine made the mess. I cleaned the mess. The machine made the mess.
Oh, yeah, this place is a mess, and Kim's got it just about cleaned up. What's that you're breaking up? Dirty part. Oh, something you might save?
I don't even know what they are. They're down in the village.
Cletus has a Camaro with a turbine in it, and it lost to the minivan. Well, in the Air Force, that's what I was a jet engine mechanic for a lot of years. For 8 of the years, the last 2 years, I was in charge of a jet engine shop. So I was around jet engines a lot, but they are so expensive. And I mean, even if you get one that's got problems, and then you got to fix it, you know, it's kind of like the skid steer, except the parts are going to cost more. Luis is here. Good evening. How you doing? I'm so sorry for late. No, it's okay. We're like just, we're just here. What you missed is Kim started the skid steer and had it working and drove it outside and just cleaned up the mess because the skid steer pooed all over the floor.
Big messy thing. But the floor looks good. I mean, it doesn't look good.
I think you like jet engine cars. You remember Craig Breedlove and who else did? Who was it first went supersonic? The British pilot. The British pilot. He didn't build the the car, but he drove it to do the speed of sound on the ground. That's crazy. Is it Cebus or Sabus? Sabus? Cebus? No cars in the garage today? Okay, well, we just pulled the skid steer out, and Kim's cleaning up the floor because it's a filthy mess. And we don't know what we're pulling in next. There's a couple projects we want to bring in, so I'm not sure. Okay, so Kim's over there. You might be able to hear her scraping on the floor. She's over there with a kitty litter trying to get all the hydraulic fluid off the floor. So, yeah, we got to discuss what we're going to bring in next. Let's see, Buttercar Farm always wanted to put supercharged 3800 in Oldsmobile minivan. The 3800 in the little the Dustbuster vans. I had one of the Pontiacs. I always wanted to do that, but you know.
What do you guys think of Ruby buying a old price for minivan? What was that about?
Yeah, Hoovy bought something we could afford instead of a Rolls Royce or something.
How far are you fallen from the supercar to the minivan?
Mark Sauvé,
The woman's destroying him.
Mark Sauvé, I worked as a cleaner a long time ago at the National Research Council in Ottawa, Canada. The machine shop was making the turbine vanes of a turbine they were designing. Oh, that's pretty interesting. Raw Dog, Annie got his own shop and owns his own motorsport. Oh, Seabass. That's right. I remember now. I forgot. Yeah, because you've been around before. Seabass is your name. Thanks for reminding me. Who says I saw a car accident in the movie. Oh, Mark Sauvé, I understood it worked. Yes, it worked in the place. Luis is asking about a 67 Ford J car. Yeah, I know what the J cars were. I remember those well. I was a kid then, and I was really into slot cars. If anybody knows what slot cars are, they're kind of like RC cars, except they run in a slot and race each other around a track. And the J car was a real popular car for the slot cars. And Stray Bullet says, bring in the Triumph next. Well, we have another short term that's got to come in, and I forget what the other. Let's see here. Seabass, what your method for getting oils off the garage floor? Kim first scooped everything up with a big scraper and poured it in because there was a lot on the floor. Poured it into a pan, and then we used kitty litter, and you crunch the kitty litter into the ground, it soaks it up, and then sweep it up. Gearhead says, I'm out. Good night. Good night, Gearhead.
Thanks for being here.
I'm scrolling down through this quickly.
Okay.
A lot of people are saying good night and everything. Buddy Carafano, I was room boy in first shop I worked while I was in high school. Yeah, it's the first shop I worked in. The guy called me Sweeper Boy. He was from Norway, so he couldn't say W. So he said, Sweeper Boy, Sweeper Boy, and I have to come running. And at the end of the day, Friday night almost always, he'd have wine and cheese and crackers, and he'd take a creeper and put it on top of a big barrel and put a fender cover there for a tablecloth, and then we'd all cut up cheese and crackers and drink wine and everything. But I was 17, so I wasn't allowed that much wine. Of course, today you'd never be allowed that wine in a shop. So
17.
then it'd be like a gallon jug of wine, and he'd finish and polish it off for all the employees. And then he'd take that bottle the other day and he'd throw it up in the air and come down and crash on the floor. And I had a key to the shop. I was 17. That bottle would break on the ground, and he goes, Saber Boy, clean it up. Okay, let's get out of here. And everybody would leave. And I'd clean up all the glass and lock the door and leave. That was my job. But you know what? That guy taught me a lot. He let me work on the cars. He taught me about wheel alignments. He taught me about brakes. He moved me from Sweeper Boy to a pretty good mechanic. I really had a good time there. Do you remember the G Plus Slot cars. G plus. I don't remember G plus. D-Man's here. Seabass.
Maybe,
Same
man.
thanks. Yeah, let's talk. You want to sit here for a minute, Kim?
Yeah.
And we can talk about
Yeah, we just
what
actually
we want
got
to bring
moving.
in.
Like we had to get the other project out of here.
Oh, we had to get that thing out of here. And
We
that
got
thing
a big
really
pile
isn't
of
done.
tools that need wiped down.
That thing really isn't done because there's still a gasket it needs, but at least it drives around. And then when the gasket gets here, we'll put it on. Then it probably be good.
Yeah.
The Jeep's got to come in. We got to do some body work on the. It's not a C pillar. I think it's a D pillar. I don't know, but we got to finish that up. What else were we talking about bringing in here that's like a short term? What we have to do?
Oh, why am I not in there?
I don't know. You're on the wrong side.
Oh shoot! Scooch over.
So, Dean Stevenson's here. Welcome the other half people amongst the fully functional. Okay. So, G cars were fast. You know, we used to go to a slot car track, and they were all 1/24th scale cars, and I built cars. I made tubing chassis, copper tubing, and soldered them together chassis, and I don't know. We really had a good time with that. So, Interpol has a YouTube site. So anyway, the Jeep, we have to do some body work on it, and I want to get it done before it gets cold. And it shouldn't take long to do it, so that needs to be done. What else were we talking about that we wanted to get in here? We were talking about it like earlier tonight, I thought, Kim.
It's not one if you've already forgot about it.
You're the one that brought it up, but now I don't remember what it was.
Well, I don't know. I'm pretty tired. That was hard work.
I could tell you're already out of energy.
A little bit, yeah.
I don't know. You got makeup on and put your contacts in and came to the shop. You never do that.
You know,
the
the
shop.
Triumph right outside the door. We needed the skid loader to get it to turn it around.
Yeah,
and
but
push
the Triumph is a big job, and once we bring that in here, this shop's going to be tied up for a while. Oh, that's it. Put the CB in the car. That's one of the other things I want to do. Hey, Dr. Goes here. One of the things I wanted to do was bring my car in and get like a dedicated power line to where the console is going to be. But that's not something that was pressing. It was something that was more pressing than that.
Was it?
And I don't remember what it was. What is it your car needs? Does your car need something that's more pressing?
My car's fine.
Huh?
My car's fine. I don't know. It's one of those things where, like, you drive it and then you realize the things that it needs. You start making a list. The important thing on my car was the neutral safety switch, and we got that worked out.
Got the neutral the backup lights on your car don't work.
Yeah, but I'm not messing with that right this second. I don't have the parts. So.
Was there some kind of exhaust or something we needed to do, or something was pressing, and I don't remember what it was. Metal fuel on Z7, it's done. Didn't we do that in here? No, we did that.
Kim starts missing the turbo. The turbo is not going to happen this year.
Oh, I thought there was something that we were talking about running the Jeep in earlier tonight.
Yeah, look, I'm all dressed up with my stained shirt.
Stained shirt, all staining it again. I made kind of a list of stuff we want to take to No Name Nationals to put in the trunk of the car.
Oh, good. Yeah.
And it's not a big list, but it's like...
Thank you, D-Man. Yeah, it's running, and hopefully it's not leaking too much. We'll have to get a look at it. I'll have to run it around and put an hour on it in the daylight, see how it's doing. But it seems like it'll be better to work with now. Fingers crossed.
I think I'll take one of those wheels that was originally on my car, throw it in the trunk as a spare. A toolbox. I've got a tool kit in there, but probably put some more tools. The aluminum floor jack, maybe a jack stand. I don't know. Probably not a lot more I want to take this year because we don't want to be doing heavy maintenance like last year. Did we attach the plastic inner fender? We did. We did that live. We bought a bunch of these little things.
There's one clip missing.
Oh, there is? Because I bought the clips.
Yeah, but we didn't take it all back apart to put the one clip in.
Oh,
There's 2 out of 3 on the one side.
okay, so we got to do that. Oh, Buff made my order chicken and waffles. Oh, you know what that was? We went out with my stepmom yesterday, and it's kind of a late lunch, early dinner. And Kim ordered that. I'd never even heard of it before. So she shoved it over in front of me and did a short with it real quick. And I pushed it back
He's
over in
the
front of her.
star.
And then she ate it. I can't eat chicken and waffles. It's a big thing of maple syrup. That'd put me in a diabetic coma. so so I had what did we have for appetizer, which we never get appetizers.
Alligator.
But we got an appetizer. We got alligator bits. My stepmom had never had alligator before, so she ate some of it. She thought it was pretty good. And then what else? So what did I have? I had a Reuben sandwich. And you know what? That wasn't the best Reuben I've ever had. The last time we were there, I had that burger. That was one of the best burgers I ever had. I don't think I'll order that Reuben again. It was okay, but it was nothing to.
Luis likes waffles. I enjoyed the waffles. They were we don't usually have them, so.
I guess it's a southern thing. Chicken and waffles. No, I didn't have to try the chicken and waffles. She just shoved it over in front of me and take the video. I was gonna do it. I was gonna video her, but she pushed it over in front of me. And then we also did one. Oh, that's what we got to do tonight. A couple of shorts probably. Although there's a short with me there with different food. It's gonna look like I ate twice. T-bone steak, like a Reuben, is healthier.
Right? It really wasn't any healthier.
Well, Reuben, you don't put
syrup on it?
Yeah, like a whole big tub of maple syrup all over it. That'd be terrible. No, the Reuben has thin bread and a lot of meat and sauerkraut. That's not going to hurt me. Tim says, does alligator taste like frog legs?
I don't know what frog legs taste like.
People always say alligator tastes like chicken, but I don't agree with that. But frog legs do taste a lot like chicken, but maybe a little stronger taste or something. Alligator tastes like, man, I don't even know how to. It's like something like between like the consistency of chicken and but kind of like a seafood or something. I don't even know. It just tastes like alligator.
Felix says both taste like dirty water.
What's that?
Man.
You have to try chicken and waffles, but well, yeah. Then I don't know. I guess you got your choice of syrup or some other kind of topping, didn't you? They gave you a choice of syrup or something else, and you took the syrup.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't eat that. Gene Stevenson, I've not eaten alligator. Kind of hard to come by down here in New Zealand. Hey, what about crocodiles? Or is that only in Australia? Or is it like everywhere down under? I don't know. I don't know if they eat those. But here in the South, alligator was, further south you go, alligator's a bigger deal. Here, you don't see it in restaurants very often. There is one store, sorry, hiccups. One store here it's a seafood shop, and they usually have alligator in there. Man, the price has gone up. It's like 3 or 4 times what it was a couple of years ago. So
This one-eyed cat says bear tastes like ham.
never had bear. Um, Wicket Warlock. Good evening. Pork. Try alligator jerky. I have never even thought of that. You could get imported crocodile, Dean. You just fly it across to the New Zealand. Hey, New Zealand. I was looking at something today, and I ran across it on one of my folders. We sold a lot of airplanes to a dealer in New Zealand. You know where Loburn is? I think that's the name of it, Loburn. And that's where all those airplanes went. I sold as many airplanes as I sold in the U.S., I think, went to New Zealand, at least for a couple of years. Mark Sauvé, I've had moose, but it's been a long time. Don't remember what it tasted like. I've had elk. What were you going to say? You're so quiet tonight.
I'm noisy. Elk and caribou. Regional foods.
Yeah, elk.
Game meats. They're good things. Usually.
I worked in Alaska for a while, but I was in the Air Force, so we had the Air Force food. We didn't have like local food. Oh man, they had a good chow hall up there. When I was there, but I worked at night, so all I had was breakfast. So I used to get up in the middle of my sleep time to go have lunch. So I'd have a good meal. I go back to bed again. Reindeer sausage, I've heard of that. Everything has gone up. I pay my bills, and I pray I bought it enough to last a month. You know, I get paid. I'm on Social Security. I get paid. And the day I get paid, it's like a vacuum cleaner comes in and cleans it right out. And I have a little left. We got to start bringing the income up. I like all the exotic beef jerky. I don't know what else you can get besides the alligator, but I like you can get a bunch of different exotic jerky. But I don't know all the different ones. Huh? I didn't even know about that.
I thought you weren't allowed to bring meats in from other countries. They won't allow that stuff through customs. Oh, one-eyed cat is showered in fresh. Planning tomorrow's accomplishments.
Did I eat any seal blubber when I was in Alaska? You know where I was? I was at Elmendorf Air Force Base, which is basically Anchorage, which is the biggest city in Alaska. It was like living in any other city, and it was like being on an Air Force base. We got whatever the Air Force feeds us, and no strange foods.
Raw dog, some of the best jerky I ever had was venison jerky. If you know what you're doing, it can come out really, really good. But it really depends on the person making it. But yeah, I've had some good.
Oh, Louis says he's out of here. Good night. Take care.
Oh, gator jerky. I've never had it. I can imagine that would be okay.
9541. Hi, long time no see. Yeah, hi. Welcome.
Welcome to the stream. It's Saturday night. We're out here in the shop. I'm doing a sit down. I just swept the floor. It was very dirty. We've got some tools to wipe down and clean up and put away, but
Go ahead.
We're in between projects for a moment. Just for a moment. There's hardly a pause button between one and the other.
Wicked Warlock says, here in Florida, I'm in Ocala, and the gator tastes like pork. You know, it might be close to pork than anything else, but what I don't like in the South is they fry it, and I cook it so differently than what they normally do in the South. Man, you're in Ocala. There's a huge aviation thing there, the Ocala airport. A lot of sport aviation in that area. I had a lot of customers right there in that area years ago. So I assume it's still going. I don't know.
Buddy mentions duck. There's a lot of duck hunting here. Remember when we went to Texas? On the way back, we stopped at that restaurant, and there was a whole huge group of duck hunters in there.
Oh, yes.
in Texas.
I have had duck before several times. The only thing I'd say is it's a little bit oily kind of meat, but it was okay. I got on an airplane one time back when they used to feed you good food, and I was on my way to Hawaii, and we had duck or something else, and I went, yeah, I'll take the duck. So it was just a meal, little tray we got on. It was like, okay. And then I don't know. I know I had it somewhere else at some other restaurant or something at one time. Thought it tasted like chicken. Yeah, they always say that about alligator tastes like chicken, but I'd say the consistency's kind of like chicken, maybe, but the taste is a little different. Dean's talking about dim sims are an Oz variant of Chinese dumplings. They're larger and have more robust shape, but thicker, doughier skin than typical Chinese dumplings. They are commonly served steamed. Raw dog blue mussels are good with garlic butter, boy. D-Man, duck is a little greasy, but tastes so good. Yeah, I'd probably agree with that. But we've seen duck, and it's always expensive. So I just think it's like a cross between chicken and goose. Oh, Dean says turkeys. I mean, Dean. All right, cat. Hey, Buff. I put out a video today about how things are going. If everyone is wondering, hey, do we have a moderator in here? Probably not. I think they all left.
Guys, check out
I was going to say, let's put up a
Don's
link.
new video on his car. He's putting a motor in the car. So the one-eyed cat, please check them out. And we don't have anybody to post a link right now. We're in the shop. It's hard to do that kind of stuff because of maybe I could do it.
Kim's gonna try to chase that down and get a link in there.
Sometimes if I do that, it really upsets your focus.
Yeah, it does. But I will just focus on. Ooh, that took that away. Yeah, it completely took my. Yeah, there you go. Now I still have my. A cat post a link. Yeah, we're trying to do that.
It won't let him.
He has to be a moderator. Well, we could make him a moderator, I guess. Oh, what is that? Man, we got a lot of. Like, there, it was there. It was there. Go back. No. There it is.
Okay.
I think Kim found it.
Okay, here you go.
Will that is
Check
that a
them
clip? Is
out.
that a clippable? Is that a clickable link?
Yeah, look.
Well, yeah, but it doesn't always work when we do that, and I don't know why.
Well, I don't know. But it's a link.
Yeah, but you got to close the other one to see if it clicks back.
It's a link.
Close that one.
It opened it up.
Oh, it did. That did open it up. Okay, so that should be a clickable clip.
Yeah, check them out. You go now and come back, or come back later, or whatever.
Pete's always a good choice.
I would not necessarily do that for anybody, but Dawn and Wendy are friends, and they're great people, and you should definitely be checking them out. And I know they've been working hard, so hopefully I'll be watching when we're done here. I'll be watching that video. But check them out, give them a like, see how they're doing.
Mr. In Between is an Australian crime suspense series, sort of like Mad Max on acid, without the Falcons and Monaros. Man, I saw somebody else that's, I don't remember where he is, down under somewhere. and he had a what's the other General Motors car that they put V8s in, but it's smaller than Monaro. I'm trying to remember the name of it. It was a pretty cool little car, and it had one of those. What's the small V8 down there? 308, something like that. It's a V8 we didn't get, a GM V8. It looks very GM, but it's not a small block. It's something else. And he had one of those in there. He had a big old vacuum leak he was working on. But anyway, I was looking at that. So interesting car. Dogs taste a little better. Cats are okay. What?
Raw Dog asked if people like dogs or cats better.
If you just go to the Philippines.
Stray Bullet was being jokingly saying about the taste of the animals. I think he meant us pets.
Tirana. That's it. And it was a 308. That's exactly what it was. Yeah, you go to the Philippines, you'd probably be able to find some of that stuff. Tirana's a pretty neat car, I thought. I don't know. What do you think of those? Are those okay?
Mexican Spec is here.
Oh, Mexican Spec is here. Hey, good evening.
How'd your day go, Mexican Spec?
Did you get? He was going grocery shopping last thing I knew because he was working on a vehicle and then got the vehicle running. I don't remember what the problem was, and then he had to go.
Guys, don't tell what we said about Mexican Spec. No more talking about it.
So you remember the Monday Spider with a V8? Monday Spider. Not sure. Oh, Monza Spider. Oh, yeah, good old autocorrect. Monday Spider. Monza Spider with a V8. Oh, yeah, of course. Worked on many of them. Like that, I started my channel as a photo album for whoever gets our cars when it happens, but we're having fun getting there. Mexican Spec, I just got back from shopping. That's what I thought. Dean Stevenson, 253, 304, and 308 V8s are Holden small block Oldsmobile-like V8s with Chevy bore spacing. Yeah, they were a strange one. We didn't get them here, and I remember, back in the 80s, I was trying to sell radiators in Australia. So I started getting all the magazines. I got the Australian Street Machine magazine. It was probably my favorite one. Nice, big, glossy photos of everything. And I learned what all those cars were, and that 308 was an engine I used to see a lot. We never got them. I wish I could have a Jeep Trackhawk. Not sure what that is. Hippie Long, I stole it from Monza's. Well, you're in the right area of the country. I mean, they shouldn't be rusted away. What's Dean Stevenson saying there with the truck and the spaceman? I don't know what that is.
Fencing.
Fencing?
I don't know. Mexican Spec. Oh, the Durango is fighting me at the wrong time, and Dean Stevenson has a truck.
Oh, I see.
A sword fighter, so I guess.
I get it.
Mexican Spec is sparring with his Durango, I guess, this week, trying to get it ready to.
So what happened to Durango? What happened to Durango?
He said it was giving him trouble.
Trouble. I don't want any car. I had enough car trouble. Oh, we took my stepmom out yesterday. I already told you that. But we got in the Jeep with air conditioning, drove over to her house, picked her up, rode over to the restaurant, which is kind of a long ride over there. It's nice in there. Air conditioning was working. Thank you, Kim. She did all that. She kind of wanted to do it, and I was
We didn't have an ounce of trouble. It was a nice ride. We got to spend a nice afternoon all together with his stepmom, and yeah, that worked out good. I'm glad we
drove over there and drove back and drove home.
No trouble at all.
No trouble. AC working, man.
Very enjoyable and pleasant trip, and it would have been really sticky driving over there without the air working.
Oh, he says, really nice engine, Buff, like a 302 Ford for weight. Okay, so it's a light engine, but 302 Chevy for power. Wow. Yeah, because a 302 Chevy, I mean, it's as heavy as a 400 Chevy, but it's, I mean, you can make a lot of power with any small block. I like small block Chevys. And I didn't like them when I was a kid because everybody had them, and I was kind of a Ford guy, but Ford really stuck it to us with, like, I don't know how many bell housing bolt patterns they have, 40, 50. I don't know. And Chevy just, they stuck with it all the way through till now. You can basically bolt things up. So nice. And you go on eBay, you can find cheap parts and you can make them run. So I kind of started liking them a lot. But my guess is, what bell housing bolt pattern do they have? Is it like a small block Chevy or is it something else? And now I want to know all about that engine. I almost bought a Monza a long time ago as a race car, but it was too much of a street car to be a race car and too much of a race car to be a street car. Okay. Everybody tell Puff what a track hawk is. I'm not sure what that is.
Mexican spec says you don't want a track hawk because they're a heavy target for theft from armed gangs of kids. Yikes. That's no good. Yeah, I don't want anything that's going to put me in danger just by owning it. That's real bad.
All right, Cat, I have more plans for tomorrow. Okay. Oh, that's right. Mexican Spec says story time. The window regulator broke in my Durango driver's door. Now I remember. Now that you told me again. All of the doors are available, but not for the driver's door. That's when it always breaks, so the all parts are gone. Oh man. So you have to go out and find them. Dean Stevenson, two kinds. Maybe standard, small block Chevy, or a metric GM 180 THM pattern, but it's easy to change. Okay. Story time 2. My mechanic fixed mine and reinstalled it today. So what happens?
What happens?
All right, Cat, my motivation factor is currently above average. Well, that's good because mine isn't always like that. But a Jeep Grand Cherokee Trackhawk review, pricing and specs. And Jeep Cherokee Trackhawk is a high-performance SUV powered by the supercharged 6.2-liter. Okay, that thing. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, Trackhawk is a Hellcat motor. Sounds what it sounds like. Okay, story time 3. When I tried the other windows, the left rear window regulator broke within 60 seconds of fixing the front. You ever roll a duct tape?
Man.
My van broke. I was in California. The window just went. I closed the door and the window went bang down like this. And I could see it down in there. So I took some duct tape because I had a roll of duct tape. And I had a spoon or a fork or something from a restaurant, plastic spoon. And I reached out and I stuck the duct tape on one side, stuck the duct tape on the other side, and I tore it off up above and stuck the two pieces together. Then I had a handle and I could pull the window up and down. So I pulled the window up, and then before I drove back I was in Arizona then, I taped all around the window. And then I had to buy a regulator when I got home. But I was pulling it up and down with a thing. Story time 4. Now the power locks don't work on all the doors, so every time I park, I have to check all 5 doors to make sure they are locked. Oh, every car we have now is just like 1956 all over again. You have to push the lock button down, and you have to use a key.
Oh, it's horrible. I can barely manage.
We have no more click, 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 click door locks. We're like back to lock buttons and keys. I know that's the one thing. I'm in the store, like
Tim's
grocery store.
Bed. Good night, Tim. Thanks for being here.
But I walk out to the car and I got to stick the key in the door, and I'm thinking, man, everybody's looking at me like you stupid old man. Why don't you click your beep beep, open your car doors? Okay, let's see. Mexican spec. Yeah, I know. I have a piece of cardboard keeping the window up. Mark, so they have all kinds of things I want to finish. My current medical condition is limiting so much, and I understand that. My cat window cranks are debatable on a daily. Okay, yeah, Tim's taking off. Okay, good night. Mexican spec. You can lube yours. I have to spend big money for the parts. I'm lucky my mechanic is old school and fixes what breaks. It's like, Kim, you don't have much time to fix this before I have to drive north. When I cat, duct tape is great. Then the adhesive becomes a problem. Oh, that is why you use, write this down, 3M 8979 duct tape. 8979 duct tape is guaranteed to come off after 6 months with no residue. And I've used it in the desert where it's 120 degrees and peeled it off after a year, and it's starting to look all crinkly and everything. It comes off, a little hard to pull off, but it leaves no residue. That stuff is great. And it comes in a bunch of different colors. It comes like an olive drab, which we used in the military. It comes in like a light gray, comes in red, and they also have 8979N, which is for the nuclear industry for taping up, clothes. And they charge more for the N, but it's the same thing, so don't get the N. You can get it on Amazon. But 8979 never makes a mess, man. We always have it around here now. If you want cat, that your Valiant sure has a lot of nooks and crannies. Okay, I missed something. Like when I cat. Okay, yep, I understand. Yeah, I like that 3 years, 60, 61, 62, the Road Toads. Man, I like those. Man, I like those cars. Excellent spec. I retired my remote a long time ago. I use the key, but they don't want to work now. Yeah, you got to keep spraying lubricant all over everything to keep the keys working. Remember having to make sure you were pressing on the door handle button while closing your door so it locked. Oh, Chevrolets were like that. Yep, you held the button in and closed it, and then it would lock. The old Fords, you couldn't do that. If you closed it, the button would pop up, which is kind of cool. You couldn't lock yourself out of a Ford, but then you had to lock it with a key. Oh yeah, I forgot all about that. Wow. Back, I'm going to replace all 5 lock motors. Oh man. Yeah, if you're sure that's what's wrong. Maybe you got broken wires or something.
Seems more like a connection problem than a...
Cars should just have a little storm window like an airplane. It's not necessary to have roll-up windows in a vehicle anymore. You know what? You know what was like that was the DeLorean had a little window that went down, and the Subaru. What was the last Subaru sports car? It had like a partial window that went down, which was really nice because when you put it down, you didn't get blasted air in your face, but you got a ton of air like right all over your shoulder in the car. I like those windows, like you say, like an airplane. They're pretty cool. Dean Stevenson, but the Road Toad has flat door glass. It's really cool how the windows simple, but the doors have many different shapes on the one-eyed Catmobile. I like the flat glass. My car doesn't have flat glass. It's just barely curved, which is why instead of being like $50, it was $700. Oh, Patrick Sullivan, that Gorilla Tape is horrid for residue. I keep Gorilla Tape around here for one thing. When I want something that's never going to have to come off again, it's pretty good. Yeah, Dean Stevenson, originally duct tape. Oh, there's another company. It's a German company that's in the U.S. now, and they are actually duck, spelling D-U-C-K, duct tape. But that stuff still leaves some residue. Dr. Go, I used to use Gorilla duct tape on the arches of my feet so I could do extreme barefoot water ski runs without burning blisters on my feet. I bet that worked. Probably stayed there. I use real gaff tape by the mile. What is gaff? I should know what that is. We looked it up one time, or I looked it up, and I don't remember. Imagine that. I can't remember something. B&R, my 63 Grand Prix door locks function like the Fords. Oh, when you close them, they pop them back open. Well, you know what? A lot of those GM cars back then, if you held the button in with it locked and closed it, it would stay locked. But if you left the button out and you closed it, the lock button would pop up. My cat, riddle me this, Dean. The factory front windows on slant 6, push button, auto roll all the way down. Full 40 variant front glass only rolls down to halfway. Makes it inconvenient. Why is that? Dean Stevenson, 100-mile-an-hour tape. See, that's where I started using the 8979 tape, because we used the olive drab tape, the olive colored tape, because it's military. And we used that all over airplanes. And then when we had airplanes that were more gray colored, I used the grayish blue tape on it. And we used to go really fast in airplanes, and that stuff stayed put. But when you, months later in the sun, you peel it off, no residue. Man, that was good. Stray Bullet says, I remember that Subaru. Yeah, what was that thing called? The Subaru. Man, I don't remember. 200SX was a Nissan. Subaru. I forget what the name of that thing was, but I liked it. I liked the original version, that the squared off one, and then they came out with a rounded off one that had the window that went part. It was this little window section. It'd be long. That's because that 440 can go fast enough to suck you out the windows. You're supposed to have seatbelt on. Cars are too old for seatbelt. Man, remember seeing the old race cars? They're driving them, and they had the mechanic riding in them, and they didn't have seatbelts. Man. BNR, well, they were using Dearborn gearboxes. Pontiac wanted to be the next muscle car. If he does have pretty tall gear. Dr. Go, were you finally able to buy a pair of water skis? Prefers barefoot skiing. I've broken the exhaust manifold. Bolts to drill out tomorrow. Sunday buff in my 97 Chevy K3500 dually bought that I bought 454. Doing it in the truck.
You have my condolences. That
Good luck.
Miserable.
Yeah, I know. We if we'd had two heads, then I would have been but we had one head because it was an inline 6, and I just thought, let's just pull the head off. And I'm sure you saw all that. I don't know, man. Be careful. You know what I was able to do with it? Up on the bench, I was able to make a center punch mark right in the center of the stud, and then just drill bigger. And I was able, because I was drilling straight down and guiding the drill around a little bit, making sure it stayed centered. I was able to stay centered enough that when I got out to the threads are the only thing left, and Kim could pick the threads out. But man, if I were down in the car trying to drill that, I would have been going crooked off the edge of the stud and everything. I'm not sure I would have been able to do that. The other thing is, if you can buy a set of reverse drill bits, then it might catch and pull the stud out. Dean Stevenson, the K Code Fairlane Sport Coupe. Do you say coupe or coupe? Coupe in the U.S. back in about 1940s or 50s, and then they stopped that, and then it just became a coupe. Yeah, you watch a little TV show, and they'll say, a coupe, and then he put the accent on the syllable. So should be the GTO car before the GTO. Instead, Pontiac made the GTO a hit. Tomoko didn't make a GTO like production capacity. High performance 289s. Yeah, the XVX, Subaru SVX. Is that it?
Miss One-Eyed Cat says, anything I drive must have seatbelts.
Action successful, it says. But it doesn't appear to be.
Nothing. I'm going to check the internet.
Yep, it's back. It just came back.
Mm-hmm.
Did you do something, or did it come back by itself?
Came back by itself.
There it goes again. But it's going. I don't know. We're trying to hang on here. We don't know what happened. Trying to troubleshoot it, couldn't find any problems, and then it just came back. This connection was always so solid. Now the last 2 times we've been up here in the shop, it's we've had this trouble, and I don't know what the trouble is, because everything we look at here looks good. So something. Oh yeah, and then everybody left.
It's okay.
Shit. Okay, if we can get that arrow go away,
That will go away.
Because it's not going away, but we sure got a lot of
Hey,
kilobits per second.
We're sending once it writes itself. We're not dropping frames anymore. So
I don't know why this is happening up here.
it was not a problem with us. It's a problem with beyond us.
Yeah, it's not us. All our equipment, Kim checked everything quickly. No, it's not the PC or laptop. It's a connection problem.
Yeah, it's a connection issue.
Well, we lost 10 people at least, 12, 14
It could
people.
be too many lives at one time. Yeah. Yeah, because Tuesday night we don't have any problems. It's probably because there's nobody else streaming.
But Thursday night we had trouble. Well, we were up here. I don't know what the hell.
I don't know.
Mark said, maybe it's just me. I'm on fiber optic. No, it's here. It was here. Definitely here.
It wasn't in the shop.
It wasn't in the shop. It was something between
the
us,
house and YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, welcome in, Mean Street Mopar. How's your project going? Are you going to No Name Nationals with it? Buddy says it's good now. We had to put a dime in our phone's modem. That's right.
God, I remember having to put dimes in the phone.
You might have to refresh to come up to current live, but we're not having any more connection issues. It dropped and it stayed down for about a minute, and now it's back. So I don't know. Something in the network did a reset.
Yeah, but all our equipment here was working.
Yeah,
well.
And now we're broadcasting at full connection speed. So I don't know. It's okay. It's beyond our control. Like honestly, considering how much streaming we do, we're really fortunate to have such stable. Most people who make as much content as we do are uploading it.
It's like being in an airplane having a 4-engine flame out.
Yeah.
You can't do anything about it.
Old chooch.
You look for a place to land. Where can you land a C5? You start looking. That's actually something, it's a checklist item, but it's a memory checklist item. 4-engine flame out. Yeah. But that bid you made at the post office, that car is really nice. Oh, well, thanks. Yeah, it was good to drive. That was the, first day, second day? I don't remember which. We just got in, started up and drove. And I've been doing that lately. Just get in it, start it up and drive. And it drives. The only thing I've had to do, we had to, with the air conditioning on, we had to turn the idle up just like tiny amount. It never quit, but when the air conditioning comes on, if you're at a stop sign, it's like, ooh, it feels like it's going to quit, but it doesn't quit. So I don't know, did you bump it up a little, or what did you, I don't remember what you did. It seems okay right now.
I didn't change it.
Oh, okay.
I was going to. You know what? The solenoid doesn't seem to work, and we didn't check to see if it had a fuse or something that might be burned up. I didn't see if it was a power issue or if it was if the solenoid was bad. And we were trying to go somewhere. I think we were trying to go to the trash drop-off before they closed, so we didn't have time to really follow up on it. So we don't know yet.
You know, the thing I really missed the most on this car is we go to take the stuff to the recycle center, the trash. We get there, and I'm used to just popping the trunk open, but I got to turn the car off, go around the back with a key, and open the trunk.
It's tough.
So I was like, man, I forgot we had to do this kind of stuff.
It's hard to do all.
So maybe someday I'll put like a trunk release, because that is annoying.
Hey, I got a package. Who likes the mail?
So I'm gonna stand back. Kim's got a knife in her hand.
Careful! She's got a knife.
Oh, Mexican spec said the mechanic replaced the speed sensor on the Durango transmission. It ships better now.
Oh yeah.
Oh, well, what's good is when you know when you see a difference. You have tough life. I got to get out and use a key.
I know. Oh, it's so good.
Oh, the thing is, I don't want to turn the car off, because then the air conditioning turns off. It gets hot in the car while I'm doing it. But yeah. Oh, this is a thing.
That is the replacement.
I never seen one of these.
For.
This goes into an air conditioning bottle, so it pulls the liquid out of the bottom.
From Okmulgee, Oklahoma. Enterprise compressed gas. There you go. Hold on to it.
Oh, I was going to put it back in the box, but okay.
No, we're going to install it. Right?
She's going to install it.
What else do you do?
I don't know.
Hey, dude, nuts. Oh, this is heavy.
Has it got any pressure in it?
No.
Good, because it wouldn't if you opened it.
You know how I know?
I don't know.
Oops.
Oh, it does. It has a little left in it.
Tiny.
Tiny amount.
I'm not going to...
Okie from Muskogee. I remember that. Just an Okie from Muskogee.
I'm going to ecologically dispose of this in a perfectly safe...
So, I guess Kim wants to install this. Look at this. They already put that Teflon tape on it. Oh. I think that's the white stuff. Even in Australia, the Ford box ignition and door keys are reversed for Cortinas, Falcons, Fairmonts, Fairlanes, and LTDs. Reversed. See here, the round key is for the trunk and the glove compartment, and the square key is for everything else. And then some Fords had the same key for all of them. What I get, brisk is over. Brisk is over. They don't last. Well, didn't Ford have almost the same car that was the Thunderbird or LTD? Oh, the same as mine. They had that, what they call the basket handle, that roof that goes like that. But mine's a Fox body. And the Thunderbirds and the LTDs, well, some of the LTDs, the smaller LTDs, see, Ford played name games. They had a big LTD, and then the LTD was a small car, and it was an intermediate for a while. You just, Ford, and they're swapping names around. So you had to know what year the car was. But Thunderbird, there was a Fox body Thunderbird. It's like, the what I call the NASCAR Thunderbirds. One of the sloped nose that was made to go real fast on a NASCAR track. It's very bold. I put separate key for the ignition trunk. Yeah, mine do too. Put a button on the console. LTD2 was an intermediate, and then they made the LTD. It was the Fox body later. I don't know. They just, the LTD2 was on the same body as like a Torino. The first LTD was a big full size car, giant thing. Then the LTD2 was on a Torino, and then they came out with an LTD that was, later, that was a Fox body. I don't know why they do this stuff. Engineers build cool cars, and then the marketing people screw it all up. Yeah, Ford key is cut on the top and bottom, so there's no there's no top or bottom.
How are you at getting this out?
My trunk key is a carriage bolt, round to flat head profile symbol. That's what I get. That's what I should do. Of course, then when I park it, I can't lock it. It is kind of nice that it locks. Dean Stevenson, the MN12s and Foxes weren't like our post 88 Falcons. Everything different. Man, you guys got the good Falcons down there. Yeah, when Falcons quit here in really in 1970, and then they came out with a 70 and a half Falcon. It wasn't a Falcon at all. It was a Torino that they put the Falcon name on for a half a year. But so ours ended there. And you went on and had like a whole series of Falcons that were really nice cars. LTD Crown Victoria on the Panther platform. Oh yeah, there were those things too. Yeah, the Crown Victorias, they called them LTD Crown Victorias before they just called them Crown Vics. LTD 2 in Marquis. My grandfather had a Marquis. DNR Racing Dina. Pontiac 389 is a high torque engine. Pontiac had it refined, good by 64. 59, 389 was the first year. Yeah, it could have been. It's about when I remember seeing those things. It'd be long. I used hose clamps and a GM trunk lock solenoid. My 64 Ford, before I got it, somebody run a cable back there. It had a T-handle down here next to the seat, and you just pull on it, and it'd pop the trunk open. Yeah, my friend's mom had an LTD2, and then she bought a Topaz. Yeah, it was a dog. So hey, I once cut a piece for a coworker that had a F-150 and a Crown Vic. He wanted me to cut one side for the Crown Vic and the other for the F-150 at work. Oh, you just had to know which way to put it in. I never thought about doing that. That was a good idea. Okay, this is moving pretty fast. I'm going to miss a few. My Toyota key fit all my friends' cars. The old Ford keys that were before the two-sided keys, they were a one-sided Ford key. Man, like you could go around 3 or 4 cars and you could find one that would fit. And the more worn out they get, the more cars they fit. Like 56, 7, 8, 9, 60, 61, 62. Man, those things you could go around, and I had friends and they'd try their key in other people's cars, like my car or something. Half the time it worked. Pontiac had that big overhead cam 6 in the Tempest. Yeah, a friend of mine built a lot of those. A friend of mine built those things. He had them in. He had one in a Chevy 2, the old like a 62 or 3 Chevy 2. He had one in. I think all his kids went to college driving cars with overhead cam 6s in them. Pontiac overhead cam 6s. I talked to him about a year ago, and he just laughed. He goes, because I was asking about him. He goes, the parts are getting too hard to find. He goes, I got rid of all of them. Now he's got an old Rambler American that he put, I don't remember what he put in it. So it wasn't an AMC engine. He put something else in it. But I think that's his daily driver now. Oh, this is the old one. See, this one, Kim, had green tape. Teflon tape. And that one has white Teflon tape. Straight bullet. I opened a Ford car door once with my Ford truck ignition key. Yeah, I believe it. Next inspect. Says, Dr. Go, I can parallel park anything. I've parked hearses. Well, at hers, you'd park by braille. Just when you hear something hit, you go the other way. Exactly the same car my dad had. Learned to drive a 77 LTD. Mexican spec says, Mark, so hey, or remove the tumblers and any key will work. Other people don't know.
That's true. They get in trouble.
Excellent spec stuff. You had a nice niche fixing Mazda rotaries. What modern car could you do that with today? I don't want to work for customers. I don't want to do customer work anymore. It's just nothing but trouble.
You can't work under that kind of stress load.
Everybody expects more than they're going to get. Everybody wants to pay this much and get this much work. And then when something else breaks, they're mad. I had enough.
Looking to sue.
I just had enough.
Super.
You know, I remember this in the radiator business. I fixed something in a radiator leak, and in 2, 3, 4 weeks, a month later, somebody come in and now they got fuel leaking, and they're pissed off at me. You know, I go, that's not what I fixed. And I remember one time, my first radiator shop, I was probably 21, maybe 22 years old. I fixed some woman's car, and it was some kind of leak like that. Like I fixed a hose or something. And it was an old, I think it was a Datsun 240Z or something. Well, she came in about a week later with some old guy, and this guy looked like he's about 80 years old. And he grabbed me. He came in my shop, walked right in, grabbed my ear with a pair of pliers, and pulled me outside. And I just went, I didn't know how to handle it. I just went outside. Oh, today I'd knock that guy silly. But he took me outside, and he started shaking my ear like this and yelling at me how I ripped her off and all this stuff. And what it was a fuel leak. It was a hose with a fuel leak, and I fixed something else, a heater hose or something. And this guy, you know, I just told it's a fuel leak, you know, and he just squeezed those pliers on my ear, and then they left. I told her never to come back. I guarantee my work, but I'm not guaranteeing this. Get out of here. Don't ever come back. Man, I'd forgotten about that.
That's crazy.
That's how crazy people are, you know. You just do something like that. Yeah, where I could use that knowledge. Yeah, I don't know. Person you have to watch when you do your work is named. I don't know that you fix something and the customer says ever since. Yeah, that's right. Ever since you worked on the car, this happened or that happened. Yeah, I would have smacked him. Yeah, I was probably 21. I was pretty new because I opened that shop when I was 21 years old. This guy was probably 80. And, you know, it's like respect your elders. And I couldn't believe this guy did this, you know. Yeah, today, that guy'd be on the ground bleeding. But anyway, at the time, yeah, 21-year-old, you don't just smack an 80-year-old guy. Yeah, ever since you fixed my radiator, my signal doesn't work. Yeah. Oh, I didn't mean work for other people. I mean buying cheap cars, fixing, making money. Yeah, I did. You know, most of the work I did on rotary Mazdas were for other people. Rotary been out for a while now because of emissions. Yeah. Yeah, respect is earned, not given freely. I don't know. Maybe it's just a different time. Maybe it's just because of my age. That was not a good day though. You know, our Dr. Go. All in the mirror is hard to explain depth perception driving. Backing up huge buses. Enter button. I've been there too, Buff. The more you try to help, the worse they get. Yep. Victor Fazio the third. Hey, good evening. Welcome. Everett Sinja. I don't know who this is. Huh. Blue Grit Garage. Oh, did Blue Grit come in? What did I miss? Did I miss him?
Ever since you did this, that happened. That's who Everett sent you.
Oh, I get it. And watching your great videos. Good work. Hope to see you at No Name Nationals.
Yeah, we're looking forward to seeing you in Anna. That'll be nice. Lots of fun.
Dean Stevens, the 4-barrel Mazda RX-7s in California are so popular. You know, when I was rebuilding those engines, well, you know, the RX-2s and 3s also had 4 barrels on them. And they came that way from the factory. And they didn't have a catalytic converter. They had a thermal reactor. So when we were working there were two of us there working at night because we did them out in front of my radiator shop. We worked on those Mazdas. So man, there was a truck came up the road. We lived like on a main or worked like on a main street in town. Came up, the truck driver got out, and he got out of the truck, and he came walking over to us, and he wanted to know where the Mazda dealer was. Man, he had a whole load of Mazda RX-3s, first ones we'd ever seen, or RX-7s. And we all ran out there and we're looking at him and talked to him. He didn't care about looking at those RX-7s, but he just wanted to know where to deliver his cars. And so it was pretty cool. We got to see the RX-7 up close before they got to the dealers. Mark Surveys, the funny thing about rotaries, the issues are usually the apex seals. So you need to rebuild a new engine since you have. You know what? I found that not to be true. I found that the usual problem back then is there's an O-ring. There's two O-rings. There's one on the outside of just imagine what the rotor housing looks like. There's a big O-ring on the outside that keeps the coolant from leaving the engine. And then there's one on the inside that keeps the coolant from going into the combustion chambers. And what would happen is that inner one would leak and get into the combustion chamber, and they'd shut it off, and the combustion chambers fill up. And then you go to start it, and of course the liquid wouldn't compress, and it wouldn't turn. They just got it locked up, and they'd let it sit. And then when I put the ad in the paper, we got all those cars in, and the apex seals are almost always perfect. And even the side seals and the corner seals, we saved them. So a lot of times it just took a gasket set. And we get them back together and get them running, and we didn't charge a lot of money for that. We got a lot of them running, and the apex seals usually weren't the problem. Yeah.
I want to flush that tank out a little bit. It's got a little bit of oop in the bottom of it.
Okay.
What would you use as a solvent?
Do we have any oil that's compatible? We didn't buy any refrigerant oil, did we?
No. Oh, you want to test and see what works?
Oh, I was going to say that's something that belongs in there.
Doesn't belong in there.
No, it doesn't belong in there. You're right. Yeah, but at least it belongs with refrigerant. What could we put in there?
Do we use like brake part cleaner or acetone or something?
Well, acetone, at least it'll all evaporate. Yeah, I mean, that would work. I don't know what the muck, it might not melt the muck that's in there, but it might, but after you get it out, after you clean it out, it'll evaporate and you won't have anything in there. Let's see here. Victor says, oh, wait a minute, I missed a couple things. Granda's head Jactos, I know that. Grandis. D-Man, I like the late 80s RX-7. Victor says, great channel they have here. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Have a local friend had RX-7 and put Toyota 2JZ in it. Boy, did that thing run. I like the old original RX-7. I really like those things. I had a friend in California that bought a 70 Z28 Camaro, which was a second-gen Camaro. He bought it new and he drove it for a long time. And then he parked in his garage and he bought a new RX-7, one of the first-generation RX-7s. He drove that around. Well, I went to see him, I don't know, a couple of years ago. And he's older than I am. Got over to his house and he's showing me something, and he's got some newer SUV now, like a Honda or something. I don't know what it was. So he opened up the garage door. Shit, there's that Z28 Camaro and that RX-7 sitting there with car covers on them in the garage. I said, man, what are you going to do with these? He goes, I don't know. The suspensions need to be rebuilt. It's like he's just tired, but he'll never sell them. But he bought them both brand new. Any car I cannot feel a firm shift, I don't want to drive her home. Yeah, the Jeep has a CVT in it. And they've programmed that thing so it sounds like it shifts, but of course it isn't shifting. Blue Grit just got done cutting the no leaf springs, the no. leaf springs out of Anna's Mustang. A miserable job with cutting and flying molten rubber. Mexican spec. I like the original RX-7. It was the cleanest design. Dean Stevenson, because Toyo Kogyo had exceptional quality control and great surface texture control on 10A, 12A, 12B, 13B rotary engines. You know, the 10As, and I only worked on one, and the 10As had like all these little O-rings around every one of the tension bolts. What a pain in the ass, but you know what? It worked. The 12As I probably did 50 12As during a couple of years, and we did some 13Bs. We did a couple of 13Bs were in the Mazda Cosmo, the early Cosmo, and the trucks, but we didn't do a lot of those. Oh, Mexican Specs asking Victor if they had room for the Sixer they have to cut. Mark Sauvé with a 12B engine. Andrew Button, ever use OSPHO? Don't know what that is. Those two JZs were in the Supras. Oh, those things. Oh, I remember driving those. But those were new cars when I drove. I remember the first Supra that I drove. What a nice car that was. That was a very refined car compared to the cars then. It was the first of what I'd call a really refined car. It was just ahead of everybody else. That sounds like a tough job. Nothing stops you guys. You always overcome. Hey, Mexican Spec Conductor. Oh, I'm on my phone having a hard time with the small screen. I know how that is. Once in a while, I'm watching somebody live, and I'm glad I got the phone because I can do it. Well, yesterday we went out with my stepmom, and coming back, I'm going, man, we're gonna miss John's live. You know, John Wilburn. And Kim goes, I'll just put it on the phone. So she put it on the phone, and man, it came on, and it was like 20 minutes coming home. We had it on the phone. I could listen to it. She was watching it, but it was nice to have the phone. But I'd much rather watch it on the laptop. Dean Stevenson, the roadie had to get a bigger trans tunnel and bell housing so that 2JZ fits with the little firewall work. Andrew, but what color was the Z28? It was silver. People forget high performance, high maintenance. Hand in hand, but worth it. Yeah, the Z28 was silver, and that RX-7 he had was kind of an off-white color. Maybe it had a little tinge of red in it, maybe, but it was basically a off-white looking thing. Man, yeah, both my Nissan has CVT and goes good, but it doesn't have that fake shift, just revs. You know, I had a CVT in a Dodge. What the heck was that thing called? What was it?
Omni.
No, no. Dodge Caliber. That thing was programmed. It had 3 speeds. If you put it to the floor, it would go right up the red line, and it would stay there as long as you kept it, and it would keep speeding up till you hit the red line, or till you get about as fast as the car would go. If you had your foot off a little bit, the attack would be like a cruise RPM. Didn't matter what speed you were going. And then there was idle. It was like no matter what you did, it was operating one of those 3 RPMs. You never felt it shift. And it was it's like flying a jet. It worked so well. It worked so well for a long time. So in the 80s, and I didn't treat it nice either. In the 80s or 90s, there was a guy that drag races aftermarket 3-rotor engine RX-7. Yeah, I missed the name there because it scrolled by. I remember the 3-rotor flankles, but you had to buy those from Japan, I guess. Yeah, all those Celicas were nice. They were. I remember they came out in 82. I had a girlfriend then, and she wanted one. We went out and drove it. Man, this is what a great car this is. I was just amazed at how nice that thing was. Dean Stevenson, hey, Buffalo Campo, I know how to trigger Blue Good Garage. And he's got all this stuff. All these things. Belong. Supers help change the car world. Andrew Button. I owned a bunch of cars, but never a Toyota of that variety. Victor, not to change the subject, got my hands on a 95 Honda Prelude, 2.3 non-VTEC, 5-speed, fun little car. I always like driving the Preludes. Yeah, they're small and they're handle nice and everything.
Can you put this back in the box? Doesn't take long.
Okay, I gotta not pay attention to the chat or.
No, you need to pay attention.
Well, I gotta put this away and I gotta put it somewhere. Kim handed me a big thing here. She was boroscoping. Does this come off for putting it away? I guess it would, huh?
It has to.
Oh, Dr. Go's taking off. Take care. Home repair stuff tomorrow. Yeah, we got home repair stuff to do and we've been ignoring it.
We've been entirely avoiding it. That's the same.
Well, yeah. It's much more fun to work on cars than it is to work in a bathroom.
Well, we didn't know what needed done until the spring, and then when we realized what needed done,
Well, the
I
problem
want
with
the machine to work so I can dig the ditch.
the problem with the bathroom is one of the problems with the bathroom that we haven't finished is the roof dumps water real close to the house, and then it undermines the bathroom. So we got to fix that first, and then we can finish the floor in the bathroom. So you know how these jobs are.
First, you got to do this so that you can do that.
Look at this, one-eyed cat, me and Wendy hanging out on the porch. What a pleasant night. Oh, that's cool. Man, it sure cooled off here. Hey, Kim, I got the boroscope put away and it's closed.
Thanks.
That doesn't always happen because there's a big curlicue thing in there. And it springs open and then you can't get it shut.
Yeah.
What is this? Josh Holman, TVs that were the size of wristwatches. Oh man, everybody's got computers on their arm now. I don't know. I guess my son does that. Both my sons do that. Like one of my grandkids. I don't know. Like Dick Tracy, but they don't know who that is. You know, the first Mazda RX-7 I drove was about 1991. John, a buddy, bought an 83 Mazda RX-7. I think it was an 83. Hit 8,000 RPMs like nothing. Yeah, I think the red lines on all those were 7, but you could over rev them. But yeah, I had one that I ported. I ruined that engine because it came on way too high. And yeah. But I still drive an Accord, a stripped down one with a V6 in it. Weird car. You know what I like was the Accord wagons. There were a few years they made station wagons, like what, in the 90s or something? Those things were, of course, nobody probably liked those now, but I thought they're pretty cool little station wagon. Add dirt to make it drain away from foundation, called a swale. That's what one-eyed cat says. Well, she's got her machine, and
yeah,
and then what comes off the roof, we have to have the drainage pipe go out away from the house, so that it doesn't just drain right there. So if we can get it away from the house.
Yeah, because that's where the water line comes in, and since the water line's already been dug, the dirt is soft there, so it comes in instead of going away from the house to get off.
Hippie long, love Accord wagons, 5-speed. Man.
Worky with these things. It's always a bigger project. If it had been easy, somebody already fixed it years ago. design flaw in the house.
D-man, Accords last forever. Yeah, there's a story. My father always bought Fords. He bought Fords. So he goes to the Ford dealer, and it's time to buy a car, and he buy a car for 10 years. So he goes in there and he parks out in the street, big lot, modern dealership that's out by the freeways now. So he walks in there and he's looking at some car, and the salesman comes over and goes, we got free hot dogs today. Come over and have a free hot dog. And my dad goes, I don't really want a hot dog. I want to buy a car. The guy, well, we got these free hot dogs. Come over here. And the salesman, this fat salesman, goes walking over there to the hot dogs. He's over there eating hot dogs. My father's standing there by the car looking around, waiting for this guy to finish eating his hot dogs. So there's a Honda dealer next door, and there's like some bushes there. So my father works his way through the bushes and goes over to the Honda dealer and told the guy in a Honda, he goes, the guy won't show me the car. He goes, what do you have that's about like a four-door car, and the Honda salesman showed him an Accord. And that was back when he was working and he was making good money. He paid cash for an Accord and drove it off. You know what he bought from that day on? About every 10 years he bought a new Honda Accord. That's funny as hell. Stupid salesman. All he was interested in was their stupid hot dogs. Oh, man. Mexican Spec says the Accord wagon looked weird. It looked like a sedan they glued the wagon part onto, which is probably what they did. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of liked it. Dean Stevens says Hondas are like Ferraris. Honda makes engines. The body is along for the customer. Engine pleasure. Yeah, I don't know. I like the early Accords. I really like the early Accords. Shit. Oh yeah, four-wheel steering. I remember that. Didn't. Yeah, that can. Not a lot of that, is there? Mexican Specs is my biggest complaint with the 92, 93 Accord was the dim headlights. It was hard to see on the highway. I probably just didn't drive them enough to know that. Mr. Wagon, the Accord looks like an afterthought. Huh. My complaint with the 90 and later Accord was the lack of pop-up headlights. Yeah, that's how Mexican Spec is. He likes the pop-up headlights. They quit doing that stuff. Well, when the C6 Corvette came out, I was really disappointed it didn't have pop-up headlights. But Gray Bullet says, I saw a Prius station wagon recently. A Prius, I don't really like the way they look at all. They're weird, But then I was in Oregon one time. I actually flew up there instead of driving up there. And the rental company gave me a Prius. It's a brand new Prius, and this was in 22. And I drove that thing around. It was really weird, but after driving it a few days, I got used to the weird little handle for a shift, and it's like, yeah, I got used to it, and it was okay. The biggest complaint I had about that car is all the instruments are in the center. So there's a big padded dash, and the padded dash was white and it was shiny. So anytime the sun was out, you couldn't see anything because you can see that shiny white dash in the windshield. I don't know what they were thinking when they did that. Dean Stevens says Aerodeck Accord 3-door. I don't know what that is. You see the CRX is great, cut down Civics. Oh, CRXs, yeah. I had a friend that was, he led the design team on that, on the very first CRXs. Mean Street Mopar, I'm only about 2 hours away from where I'm headed. I just stopped for the night. It's getting hard to keep it between the lines, yeah. Yeah, I had a friend he sat next to me in drafting class in high school, and he liked cars then, and he ended up going to school to be a car designer. He ended up working for Honda for most of his career as a designer, auto body styles. I like the same thing, but I ended up doing airplanes. And then another friend of mine sat next to me. He liked airplanes, and he ended up doing robotics. But all three of us ended up doing design work on stuff. CRX had big time blind spots. I was bummed. Huh. Victor, we had a 2002 Honda Accord. 4 doors auto, 2.2. My wife ran that thing for years. Windows. Street Mopars. It says Mexican spec driving tires about the same as driving drunk. It might be worse. I don't know. Oh, crank windows. Now I see. That makes sense. Enter button. I don't drive cars that don't have ignition keys. No fobs, no buttons, just keys. After all these years, I'm back to two cars with keys. We use keys now. No more pushing buttons.
But they're not new cars. We went older instead of newer.
Yeah, my Mazda got wrecked, and I went out and bought a 47-year-old car. You know, said I'm tired of all this complexity. Got a 6-cylinder car with like the most electronic thing in it's the AM radio. No, I guess it has that electronic ignition, doesn't it? It has a box. It has a, what do you call it, a magnetic pickup ignition. Early Prius, just like a downsized Lamborghini. A Spot it, really? Roof shape is super cool. D-Man, what's the worst cars you or Kim had? Oh, man. What's the worst car I had? I don't know. The worst looking car I had. I traded a copy machine one time that I'd paid $300 for. I traded it for a 79 Honda Civic, and somebody had crashed the Honda Civic, and then they fixed it. They went in there with a ball peen hammer and beat it all back out to shape. So you could see they'd done that with a ball peen hammer. It looked like a bag of walnuts, and I drove that thing around for years. That was a good car, but man, it looked terrible.
Worst mechanically, worst at actual driving, the worst appearance, worst. There's lots of worsts. There's lots of worsts. I've had so many, it's hard to think of one.
Oh man,
I am tired of Mexican spec. I've got a lot of rest, and but my neck is.
We got to shut it down, man.
Yeah, 2
Worst
hours.
car I had was probably I had a '86 Chevy Celebrity wagon. I got it in Ohio, and it was falling apart. I got it for like $100 or something, and it was pieces of rust would fall off of it when you drove it. But I got it because I wanted the interior, because it was a wagon with a console, and I wanted to move all that stuff over to another wagon, which I never did. But that's why I bought it. But I drove it around some. That car was a rolling disaster. Okay, hiccups. Okay, Kim, we've been on here 2 hours and some. So I want to thank everybody for being here.
Thanks to our moderators, Mexican Spec.
Mexican Spec, and I know he left, but Dudster was here. He was moderator. And Kim, you did some moderating by putting up some links.
You're
welcome. Thank you.
Thanks to everybody who visited and chatted or just watching at home. Thank you for being here. We appreciate it. Without you, it wouldn't be worth streaming whatsoever. So we appreciate having so many people who are so supportive of us on a regular basis.
And we'll be
back. We streaming too often?
We'll be back Tuesday. Yeah, we kind of wonder if we're doing this too often. Tuesday night, 7 o'clock Central Time in the U.S. We'll be not in the shop. We'll be in the studio, and we'll be showing everybody's pictures.
We have a green screen. Send us some pictures.
If you don't know what a green screen is, it means we're like down in the corner, and we show everybody's pictures up behind us. It looks cool. So we're
a lot more focused.
We'll do that too.
Than we are here in the shop. When we're in the shop, we're trying to get some things done. So sometimes we get distracted. But in the studio, we are all yours for a couple of hours. And yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Right?
So I don't whack in the face. I'll use this hand.
You're learning.
Good night, everybody.
It takes time.